Right. Hello, hello, hello. Good evening. If you are joining us from India, good afternoon. If you are tuning in from South Africa, we are back. It's Sunday. It's match day, and it's an isolation match day because there's no men's game to distract the followers of the women's game. We're back on the Outside View Live, powered by Vespa and Aprilia. We build up to the second T20I, which is a crucial one. Remember, because India are 1-0 down. We'll get down to the build up to the game, but before that, let's look at the SXR 160.
You're late.
Don't just live life, maxify it.
Right, back again on the Outside View Live, powered by Vespa and Aprilia. They actually say in the sport that if you kind of bring in newer players who've not experienced losses, the team generally tends to do well. So here we are on the Outside View Live, powered by Vespa and Aprilia. We sure have Cowan, we sure have Boria Majumdar, but we have a new player, a new face in Archana Das, the former India off spinner, and we are going to ask her thoughts of how the series is played. Archana, your first thoughts, second T20I, what does the gut say?
Good evening all. And my gut says that well, India must win, and the South Africans are really doing well because of their one-day. The confidence are really up. The way they are 4-1, and they carry the same momentum in T20 as well. So it's a bit tough for India, but again they have to come back, and I just hope Harry is included in the side. And few things are really bothering the team, which is definitely fielding, which was really lacking last match. It was okay in the ODI, but really fell short. And bowling changes, I would say rather. So there are a lot of things to work on. So I'm just keeping my fingers crossed for today's match. And
Yeah, fingers crossed. In fact, I have all my hand in a tangle. But coming to you, Boria, you've changed your place. Hope that changes the luck for India today.
We are doing everything we can, but the point is the luck, people create luck. And I am a firm believer of that in international sport. If you ask me, today is a new day. There should be no scarring. That is point number one. Point number two, it just takes 2 good hours of cricket to turn things around. And this team is well nigh capable. Shefali, Smriti, and some of these players cannot overnight become bad players. None of them are bad players. They're extraordinarily talented people. Question, do they show the same amount of intensity like they did in that World Cup? Do they believe each run is about their life? Do they believe each catch has to be taken? Is the dropping of catches contagious like the COVID virus? So plenty of questions to be asked of the Indians, and I will ask that of the captain. Even if Harman's playing or not playing, we'll get to know soon. She has a role to play as non-playing captain. WV has a major role to play as coach. And you said luck. I come back again. Tosses do not win cricket matches. Luck does not win cricket matches. Ability does. Belief does. Heart does. Courage does. So yes, we have changed places. Claire Cowan needs to also change place because that is the lucky place for South Africa. So we will now change her frame also. So from our end, we'll do everything. But the action out there has to be in the field. Yash Lahoti also has to do something. Make his hairstyle different. Do something. But tonight is our night.
Lots of changes. We are in battle mode, aren't we, Claire? And South Africa, of course, have won the toss. They've yet again, they've chosen to field. But we are still to know the teams. But do you think Marizan Cup comes back in?
I want to say yes. And I think they need to go for the jugular. That is literally how I want to sum it up from a South African perspective. And it's almost the kind of opposite from an Indian perspective, is exactly as Boria has gone. They said they've got to get rid of history. They've got to just forget it. And they've just got to go out there and play with absolutely no fear of failure. They've got to put their body on the lines, and they've got to do it for each other, which ultimately represents India, because they're in a special situation where they're wearing a very, very special shirt. and they need to represent that with their absolute all. And it's quite similar for two teams, but in very, very different situations here. So you asked me if Marizanne Kapp should be in the side. I would love to see her in the side, because from a South African perspective, it would be a stand, and it would go, we are going to win this T20 series and go up 2-0 starting off, in the first two. Unfortunately, that probably means Nadine de Klerk, I would think, would lose out on her spot. Otherwise, I was generally happy with all the goals. And again, yes, Nadine went for a few runs, and I'm not saying that's the reason that she should be dropped. I'm not saying that at all. I just think if South Africa really want to make a big statement here in India, and to the rest of the world when it comes to women's cricket, it would be a very good idea to bring Marizanne Kapp in and give themselves an even better chance of winning the second T20.
Yeah, South Africa are fielding first, which means India will continue to bat first and post totals. Boria, the first T20, the batting lineup, the batting order that we saw was a bit unusual, because we don't see Harleen at 3 and Jemima down at 4. Your thoughts on that? And do you see the pattern repeat in the second T20 as well?
I don't know how to respond.
You're on mute.
You don't change orders all of a sudden like that, especially when Harleen looked good. So did Jemima. My point is, what was the one mistake? If you look at that batting chart, the one mistake was the acceleration did not come. So was there clear definition of roles? What is the purpose of a Richa Ghosh? Can Richa Ghosh do a Surya Kumar Yadav? Why not? What is the purpose of a Simran Dil Bahadur? Can she come and hit a couple of balls and just release the pressure? One down, get her in. She hardly got anything to bat. India could have lost a couple more wickets, get to 145. That's what I want to see. I mean, do something that will rattle South Africa. Do not let South Africa settle into the bowling groove and the batting groove. Again, you lose this game, you've lost 2 series. Everything is on the line. Go play, express yourself. I want to see no dropped catches. I want to see no misfields. I want to see fearless cricket. Let South Africa beat us by playing their A game. I've got no problems. You and I and Claire and Archana at the end of the show, when we come back again, shouldn't have to say, oh, you know what? Indians did not field well. Oh, you know what? Indians dropped dollies. Basics have to be in place, and that can only happen if the mind is uncluttered. The mind has to be, I will take charge. Priti Mandhana, not 2-4s. I'm getting really, really bogged by that. 2-4s out. No. I don't want the 2-4s in the first 5 overs. She plays 120 balls. She plays 70 of those. She'll get 100 runs. She's that good. 120 balls is a hell lot of balls. So, you've got to take responsibility and take the team with you.
Right, we are getting to know that it's Smriti who's walked out to lead the team. So Harman's still out. Archana, coming to you, that batting order in the lower middle order seemed a bit powerless, like Boria said. You see any changes there? You see a promotion up there for Simran Dil Bahadur. Remember, she's done well in the domestic circuit, and that's what has earned her the promotion up there. So your thoughts on that?
Yes, I was really surprised to see her down the order, because when I played with her, I mean, I played more than 4-5 years along with the Delhi teams, and she is a really powerful hitter. She just bangs on sixes. I have seen it. So, and she's really powerful, and she's also fearless cricketer. And I was surprised that why she's promoted up the order, because when you see Harleen, as Boria sir said, Harleen and Jemima are kind of similar players. And that time you need to slog the overs. And they were just playing, onto the line of the ball. Then you have to hit hard shots. But you have to just push the order, down the order. And Richa Ghosh, I think, again, she must have been promoted. She should have been promoted.
Absolutely. Just one quick point before you go to Claire, Sudarshan. Taking off from what Archana said, this is not India is playing T20 cricket as an extension of ODI 50-over cricket. You can't do that. T20 has a different mindset and a different strategy and a different formula. So adopt, and apply that. And that's what I want to see. I want a fresh mindset out there. That's what will make a difference for India.
Yeah, we're getting to know the team. Coming to you first, Claire, that South Africa are unchanged. They're going with the same side. Not surprised because the results are going their way. No need to change what ain't broken, isn't it?
Absolutely. I mean, I totally agree. As I said, I was sort of really trying to go for the jugular and see if South Africa could really stamp their authority early on in this match. But I'm happy with an unchanged side. You know, no issues with that whatsoever. I think our batting unit is looking really good, nice and solid. You know, the fact that we didn't even see Dupree, we didn't see Goodall come in to bat, in a way scares me a little bit because you know, as Boria has just said, it's a different mindset, T20 cricket. So they haven't been tested with that intensity. But Mignon Dupree she's such a seasoned campaigner and such a professional. So I don't have any doubt that she'll be able to step up if South Africa need her. From a bowling perspective, I think we just need to get a little bit tighter sometimes with our, especially with our lengths, and also a couple of extras wides that we threw around. And then I'm sure Sonala Japta would definitely want a cleaner kind of representation behind the stumps. From her standard, she would be I know she's very, very sort of strict and hard on herself. So she would be quite disappointed that she let those two byes through at a critical time. And that's probably what's more important is just the timing of those two byes that she let through. And often you can see that swing matches. And against a side like India, that when they're on top of their game, that would be a huge opportunity for them to really pounce at South Africa and sort of make them pay. Luckily, it didn't happen in the first T20, but I'd just like us to just a few little sort of polishing touches that we need to add on to our game. But definitely from a bowling perspective, just slightly tighter. I mean, India going to want to go for at least, you know, I said in the first one, sort of 160, and I actually really want to stand by that. I think they need to bully South Africa early on. They need to sort of just like stamp their authority on the game. And I've touched on it in the show before. I'm not necessarily meaning hitting big fours and sixes in the first over. You don't have to do that. Boria said it's 120 balls. That's a lot of cricket. And, you know, the talent that India have got, they can utilize that so well. If Shafali is taking, you know, for her first 10 balls and she's only her strike rate's only 60 or 70, she's got the ability to just accelerate. It's the same thing with Mandana. She mustn't throw her wicket away. If the two Indian openers can get off to a solid start, not a flyer, a solid start, India can easily pose here 150, 160. And I think if you look at what happened in the first T20, that would pull a lot of pressure on South Africa.
Yeah, fair point that. Let's move on to India. One change there. Poonam Yadav goes out, Radha Yadav comes in. Boria, that's a good addition to the bowling attack because remember 35 international T20I she's played. She's picked up a wicket in 24 of those in succession. Good record to have, good player to have in the side. Your thoughts on that change? Mute.
Give me one reason. Very good change. Absolutely very good change. But give me one reason why Radha Yadav did not play yesterday. Why? Because she had a bad ODI game. Nonsense. I mean, you know, this is what I talk about clarity of thought. Radha Yadav is a proven T20 customer. That's her forte. She has done extremely well for India. Why will you not play Radha Yadav and then get her back in one day? So what are you telling me? That I was not good yesterday, I'm good today. You know, that's what I'm saying. What is this cluttered mindset for? You tell me and anyway, whatever you've done, Radha Yadav is very, very important. You get one wicket, get two. Bat, make it different. Smriti Mandhana gets out early. If she does, hope she doesn't. Because again, yesterday my fantasy team had Anika Bosch and Sunil Lees as captain, vice captain. Today it's Smriti Mandhana captain. I'm putting it on record. So she has to get me runs. Okay. And I am an avid fantasy player. So Smriti Mandhana, if she doesn't, or the other opener gets out, Shafali, send a Richa Ghosh, send a Simran Dil Bahadur, put it there, get the power play, get 50 runs.
Some changes.
Put South Africa under pressure. I mean, come on, man. And W.V. Raman doesn't need to be told this. He's one of the best cricket brains in the country. So that's what I want India to do today.
Yeah, Archana, they've kind of stuck to the same spin attack in the sense there's two bowlers who take it away from the right-hander, one who gets it in Deepti Sharma. There's one seamer. So would you have kind of had some other changes, or what's your thought on this bowling attack that India has? Remember, Deepti Sharma is not going through the best of form herself.
Yes. Now, again, I just want to stir some controversy here. Let me just tell myself. Is Deepti Sharma and Poonam Wardha were successful previously? Why? The reason was more of Ekta based. There were a lot of dot balls before, and Deepti is feeling a lot of pressure to create those dot balls. Hence, Poonam Wardha have no wickets because it's easy to read her. You can just go back and slash her, like the previous has played last one day. So why I'm in the one day format here is because you have to get the dot balls on, even in T20. And it's really important to have a lot of dot balls. And where Radha Yadav is concerned, I think we got an extraordinary fielder by her. I mean, even for substitute, she was there. And she was really good. So you get an attacking, as Boria sir said, she was really a T20 player. You get a good fielder, plus a good bowler who can just have a lot of dot balls, which we really need. And the team is right now. The team is good, very good. In fact, I would say even if there's no Harman, we still can make it if we have some good changes, like as you said, Richa Ghosh and all. We just have to have some kind of changes, like not the routine thing stuff, same Harleen, same, and just log it. Take chances, half chances, and play fearless cricket. Is what I'm just trying to say.
Yeah, we're going to talk more about your career, but let's kind of touch up. Tell us more about this aspect. What do you kind of see any difference in Deepti Sharma? Because remember the T20 World Cup last year, she was very good in the lead up as well as in the tournament. And as Boria mentions time and again, that you as a player don't get bad overnight or in 2-3 months. So what is it that you feel is wrong with Deepti Sharma, the way she was last year and the way she is bowled in this current series?
Yeah, see, I would not like people to forget one thing, that we are all playing after a big long gap. It's COVID times and there are a lot of big gaps we had, and I think people should not forget, rather also the fans, is that that you're coming back to the international cricket in almost a year, so you have to give a player the time. And also the fact is Deepti Sharma has become a little slow. What I felt as an off spinner, she's not that penetrative what she was. So I think you need to work on that, and I think by playing only, she has to come out for that, and you have to give her chances. Not that you just simply drop her or just cut her down. No, you just have to give confidence, play a lot more matches, I would say. So I think just back your players, and even the players has to back themselves as well.
Right, then let's move on. Just press pause to this India South Africa conversation. Deviate a bit to our Vespa Know Your Player. We have Archana Das just for that. Archana, you made your debut in 2012. Anjum Chopra was your captain on your first game. What memories do you have? Close to 10 years now from that moment.
Yeah, I just can't believe I'm just counting today, just 21, like almost 9 years. So yeah, it's still fresh in my memory, and I just feel, I just played. In fact, I'm still like, okay, I can make it, kind of a thing, which is, again, I'm in my own world, but just joking way. But what I'm saying is, it was really an important moment of any cricketer's life. And for me, to debut under Anjum Chopra was a big thing, because she's already a great batsman. We like, oh my God, Anjum Chopra, and all that. So it was a big moment for me, my family, and it was that too. It was from West Indies, my first trip. It was Antigua, I remember. It was first day-night match of my career. So yeah, a lot of good things happened. Match.
So you made your T20 debut before the 50-over format. Did you have to adjust? What was that like? Because I'm sure you would have played a lot of longer formats before playing the T20. So were you a bit uncomfortable, I'd say, because making a T20I debut before the ODI debut, was that the case, or how was your mindset back then?
Yeah, because we, as you said, we were playing a lot of 50-over games. You say the Challengers, everything was 50 overs. I didn't know like what T20 is. Like today's game is really fast. You just blink of an eye, the over is up. So it's like that. So I think that was the experience what I had. I got beaten up first over. I remember I got hit for 6. It was my second ball, and I was like all over the place. And then I remember Mithali, the Anjum, both of them come to me like, calm down, you're fine, you're good. And then that over I got Daly out, the lefty batsman. So I was very happy. So that was the thing. So we learned from experiences, and the situation was very different what today's situation is. So I think, yeah, now the team is much better, The girls are much better.
Yeah, let me tell you what, you are very unlike a bowler, because I don't think a bowler would come and admit that they were bad and they were hit in the first over. They'd say probably the the bat was good, or there was a thick edge or stuff like that. But good on you to kind of admit that. Did you enjoy particularly bowling to lefties? Because Chanel Delhi, your first wicket, and then Stacey and King, your first wicket in ODI, both left-handers.
Yes.
Bowling to them more?
I love bowling to lefties. You don't know what joy I get to beat them every second. When I was at my peak, I was like 3 to 4 balls. I was only beating them, sometimes getting out. I remember in my domestic matches, Jaya Sharma was my customer most of the time. And Anjum Chopra, that's how I got in the team. It was just fun to get them out, to just play with them, to dance on my tunes. So I always loved bowling to the lefties, and it paid me off most of the time.
Right, get your captain, get recognized, and make your way to the national side. A good shortcut or good technique to do that. I think Claire Cowan must be thanking her star that she's not a left-hander. But let's come back to this India-South Africa contest. The second T20I is minutes away from starting. Boria, your final thoughts, your first thought, in fact, for Jemimah Rodrigues, your first message, if she has the power to listen to our show, what will be your first message to her be?
Does she believe that she is one of the best? She is one of the best. Okay, and everybody knows the kind of talent that Jemimah Rodrigues has. It is one thing to have talent. It is another thing to be able to harness that talent and do it for the country. That is the greatest joy. Jemimah Rodrigues should just tell herself, I will anchor this innings. Let Shafali Verma and Smriti Bandhana and the others go. And I will score 70 not out. That's it. I will not get out. I will do everything in my powers to get my team over the line. Somehow for me, sport is life. It is a microcosm of life. Imagine if you win tonight, how many people in this country will aspire to what you have done? How many people will have smiles on their faces? How many trolls will shut up? How many you and me will celebrate tonight? Archana, you, me, Claire. She asked about Deepti Sharma. I will make a controversial statement. Go check Deepti Sharma before and check Deepti Sharma after. What did Rishabh Pant and the Indian men's team do? COVID lockdown. Are they fit enough? Have they put on weight? Have they shed that weight? Check Deepti Sharma. Why is she slower? Is there a fitness issue there? Deepti Sharma was one of the fittest fielders on the park. Is she right there? I'm sorry, but these are important challenges. And believe me, anyone tells me that lockdown equal to putting on weight, you're an international sports person. You can't do that. You can't do that. And I'll put this on record. Saurav Ganguly said this to Rishabh Pant during the IPL. You're an international cricketer. Don't give me lockdown. You can't put on weight. And he shed that weight in Australia. This is what international sport is about. And that's what I want the Indian team to do.
Right. Your prediction for the score, do you stick to the 145 mark for India's victory?
I somehow believe India will do much better tonight. I somehow believe. 150 is what I'm predicting. And I'm also predicting an Indian win.
Right. Moving on to you, Archana, your thoughts, the score that India will get and who will be the performer of this inning?
Performer would be, I feel it's Shafali's day today. So I'm just betting on her. And the score would be 130 to 140. And India's going to be a tough call, but I think India may get it today. Yeah.
Right. 145 to 150, India to win. These are the two calls. Archana has a nice blue background to go with it as well.
Yes.
Claire, I think she's stuck. She said 160 is what she backs India to get once again. Hope that comes right. But we'll pick up this conversation on the mid show on the Outside You Live, powered by Vespa and Aprilia. Thanks, Boria. Thanks, Archana, for your time.
Well. I'm also wearing blue, so yeah.
Oh yes, double blue. Hopefully that changes the luck. See you in the mid show.
Yes. Thank you.
Thanks.
You'll lead.
Don't just live life, maxify it.